Yo, welcome to another episode of Sports Talking More. I'm your host, Alex Tillery, aka Coach Till. And before we get started, I got to shout out our sponsor for this episode today, and it is the Market Maven Box. They are the premier marketing and branding company in the South Jersey area. If you need anything printed, if you need graphics, if you need a website, you can reach out to them. The information is in the description below. Check them out. Now, we do have a special guest on the show today, so I want y'all to sit tight. Be right back.
You're listening to Sports Talk and More podcast, the show that brings you the really real in sports. Each week, we deliver the best hard-hitting topics in sports. Disclaimer: the topics and conversations on this podcast are based on the opinions and views of the host and invited guests. Now here's your host, Alex Tillery.
Welcome back, sports fans. Welcome to Sports Talking More. I'm your host, Alex Tillery, aka Coach Till. And before we get started, you know I got to do that really bro moment of the day. And my really bro moment of the day is that Cam Newton and the Patriots will go to the AFC Championship game. Believe it. I said it here first. Yeah. Cam Newton and the Patriots will go to the AFC Championship game. Now we got that out the way. I want to again welcome y'all to the show. This episode here is special, man. I got one of my homies here with me. You know, he's going to come through. We're going to talk to him a little bit about himself and, you know, things that's going on in his life and, you know, what he do. So without further ado, I want to introduce my homie, Big Will. What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. I appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, trust me, definitely a blessing, man. So what's going on with you, man? What you been up to, man?
Just working hard, grinding, you know, just taking care of family, things of that nature, you know.
Okay. So tell the people about yourself, man. Where you was born and raised at?
I was born in South Philadelphia, went to St. John Newman High School, played 3-year varsity player there, played in college, Jersey City University. Okay. After that, found a passion for helping kids, got into coaching, and basically I'm still around to this day.
Nice. So you played where in high school and college?
St. John Newman High School, South Philadelphia.
Okay.
I played Jersey City University up north and obviously Jersey City.
Okay.
Then like after that, you know, it's time to get a job like real people, you know, so got a job, you know, ended up coaching. I've been coaching 12 plus years and I'm still going.
Okay. And where you was coaching at?
Rancocas Valley Regional High School.
Okay.
Mount Holly, New Jersey.
Okay, so you right here in Burlington County.
Okay.
So what's your perspective on high school basketball in Burlington County?
High school basketball in Burlington County right now is not that good, I would say, because of sometimes it's a lack of coaches, because a lot of schools hire only the coaches that are inside the building, but that aren't actually qualified. And also, too, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great coaches out here. But also, too, it actually comes from a lot of kids not working hard. Like the kids, when I grew up, it could be dark outside, no lights. They be there, all hours of the night, things of that nature. Kids nowadays, they more interested in playing Fortnite and want to be texting on their phones and things of that nature. You know, so it's definitely a different thing as far as sports in general, not just basketball, but everything with the kids is totally different generation. They don't understand. When we grew up, you called it the lab. When you in the lab, you need to be in the lab. No goofing around, no talking about your exes and what happened in the lunchroom, stupid stuff of that nature.
Yeah.
You just need to focus on 2.5 hours a day for 6 days a week. That's all your coach asked for 3 months. That's all your coaches ask you for.
Grind it out.
You know, and a lot of kids, they really can't do it, you know, and and what I see now too is a lot of the parents, they baby these kids, you know. You know, everybody's son or daughter is Michael Jordan or Maya Moore. You can't be that way. You know, I got 2 sons that play. One of my sons is really good. He's 13 years old. He's 6'2". At the end of the day, if my son is not good, he's not good. You know, facts is facts. You know, so some of these parents, they like a little what you want to call delusional. You know, that's how I see things. Sorry to get a little long-winded.
No. That's perfect, man. Listen, this the really real.
Okay.
So you speaking your mind. Is your opinion.
Okay.
It says it in the intro. It's your opinion, your perspective. So
okay.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, like I said, like South Jersey sports, it's not as great as it should be. And I know when I actually moved here in 1995, South Jersey sports was a whole lot better, whole lot. Like it was no going 14-0 in the league. Everybody had 2 stars. You know, like on any given, it's kind of like the football movie. On any given Sunday, you could beat any team. You know, the best team in the league could lose to the worst team in the league by 30. You know, but nowadays it's not that way. And also too, and I'm gonna stop here because I know you got another question.
No, keep going.
It's no loyalty. Everybody wants to go with all their friends. It's kind of like, I call it like the Kevin Durant theory. Even though I love Kevin Durant, it's like, you know, they wanna jump ship and play with all these boys they played with high school. And in reality is, when I grew up, you play for your hood. You know, everybody from South Philly went to the same high school. You know, like if you got a high school 3 blocks away from your house, you don't go to a high school in 3 different towns over. That's just not heard of. But nowadays, they could do that, and you got to have the NJSIAA come in with all these rules, talk about you can't do this, can't do that. It shouldn't even be that. You should want to rep where you're from. If you're from Mount Holly, go to RV. If you're from Willingboro, go to Willingboro. From Pemberton, go to Pemberton. Same thing everywhere you at, you know. But unfortunately, it's not like that.
No, but it's funny. It's funny that you say that, because I've been down here now since 2001, and you know I was coaching at one point. And it's kind of like the same thing I see, like the dedication is not there.
Not even close.
Not even, I mean, and it's talent. It's talent in Burlington County, but the dedication is not there. And like what you said with the parents, like, listen, nobody had to tell me to get up and go play ball. I had a game, I had practice. After practice, I had a game. I was balling. I played 4 games in one day. So the dedication is definitely there, but I mean, like these kids nowadays, they like you said, Fortnite. Yeah. They want to play on their video. They want to text all day, and when it's time for the game, they think they could just show up, and they think they talent is going to do it.
You can't. Well, by being in the lab, you're going to practice how you play.
Exactly.
If you BS in the lab, you're going to BS in the game. It's just that simple. You know?
Exactly. That's one thing as a coach I tell my kids: you practice hard, the game is going to be fun. So that's how I look at it. You put in all the work in your practice. So by the time you get the game time, it's all fun.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and you got people around you cheering you on.
Yeah,
how about that?
Exactly. Know? I mean, hopefully, you know, with COVID now, you know, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's big. And then another thing you saw about with the coaching situation, the in-house hiring in-house, and sometimes that really hurts a program.
Absolutely. I mean,
it hurts a program.
It's tons and tons of people in the area that will say the same thing. You can't hire somebody just because they're a gym teacher, and they've never coached basketball, baseball, whatever sport it may be. They've never coached a day in their life, but you give them the job because they work in the building and they're able to watch the kids. In my mind, that's a bunch of hogwash, you know? Yeah, like it's a lot of talented people out here that could be coaches that are not coaches because they got messed over. Or I have a good buddy of mine, I'm not going to say what school, but area school. He was with the program for 18 years. They went to hire a new coach. He wasn't even considered for the job because he's a teacher, but he teaches at another high school. He doesn't teach at that high school. Wow. So he wasn't even basically considered for the job. And he actually took a job at another school and never even heard back from the AD that he didn't get the job at the school he applied for.
Wow.
So a lot of grimy stuff goes on behind the scenes, but you know, I guess it is what it is when people get these big titles and ADs and stuff like that. Hey, you can run with it, you know. So
no. I mean, hey, listen, I've been around for a little bit now, so I kind of
what's
going on in the area. Because I mean, that's huge. I mean, not saying they might know, the teacher might know something about the sport, but it hurts your program because people just think coaching is just telling the kids go out there and play.
It's not.
It's about the chemistry. It's about how to manage the talent that you have and with the skills, like it's not just say, okay, you're gonna give me the job because I can watch these kids and I work in the school. So yeah,
you're not hiring a babysitter.
Yeah,
you're hiring a coach.
You hire somebody that knows what they're doing, that knows how to control the system. Like it's crazy.
And also too, if your players don't respect you, they're not gonna feed into what you your program, your philosophy on your program, or whatever. So if you're a gym teacher who's like not even respected in the hallways, how you gonna get respect on the basketball court or on the football field? Yeah. It doesn't even make sense, you know.
You're right, and that's the key. The key thing is respect. The kids respect you; they give you their all. Is when they lose respect, and I seen that happen. I've seen that happen over my years. Like,
I've seen coaches get cursed at,
in the middle of the game,
and absolutely, and all types of stuff. You know, like kids just saying so much inappropriate stuff to these coaches, and you be like, when I was growing up, like I'm 42 years old. So, like I said, I graduated high school in '96. So for you to talk to your coach back then, it was unheard of. Even in college, even now, you know, like it's certain things that you're taught, you know. Like I recently lost my mom 6 years ago, so I moved my father in with me. Now I have 2 sons of my own. I won't even curse at my sons in front of my father because that's not how I was raised. But nowadays, there's no more tough parenting like how it was before. The parents now are called big homies. It's sad to say, but it is what it is, you know. Like you shouldn't be calling your pop by his first name. You shouldn't be calling your mom by her first name, you know. But that's the world we live in.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know, man. It's something that they got to fix around here, man. It's just a lot of things I've seen. That's why I just want to get another point of view on it.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, you've been out here just as long as me or longer. So
I've been a little bit longer.
So I mean, yeah. But yo, my man.
Okay.
I know you missed the Summer League this year.
Man, I missed it. I was supposed to be there.
Me and this dude here, we meet out in Vegas almost every year to see the Summer League, NBA Summer League, man. With this Corona joint going on, we would have been out there this year.
No Summer League, no NBA draft. No. I've been going to the Summer League 8 straight summers. So I've been going, you know, like it's just crazy.
It's man, yeah. I definitely last year was dope. Got to see the guy Taco. Yeah, everybody was going crazy for him. Out there,
Zion Williamson.
Exactly, man. It was if you ever get a chance and they bring it back, you get a chance to go. It's definitely something to see. See that young talent coming up in the NBA. But that leads me to another question for you, real quick. 96 Bulls, 17 Warriors.
Man. It might be a tough one right here. With the run and gun Warriors and the Bulls, everybody in the world loved Mike. But one thing you got to understand, they had Mike and Scotty and a bunch of role players.
Yeah.
This Golden State Warriors team, they had a bunch of superstars.
They got 5 all-stars.
And a bench.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go with the Warriors. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Mike. Everybody love Mike. But it is what it is. Sometimes you got to go against the things you love. You know?
Yeah, listen, I'm old school, so I look at it too the same way. I'm like, I just think about the matchups. It's like, okay, after Mike and Scotty, who gonna match up? So
how about that?
So if you match up Mike with Durant, let's say Mike with Durant, and then you put, let's say Clay against Scotty scoring, you still got Steph, you still got Draymond could give you some money.
I feel like Andrew Bogut's on that team too, right?
Yeah.
So is Luke Longley gonna guard Andrew Bogut?
No.
Like, you know, like these are the things that pop up in my mind.
Well, actually, was he? I'm trying to think. Was he on that squad? Because that was 17. That's when Durant got there.
They got Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, that's
for
right.
that one year.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
But I mean, But even off the bench, like who's gonna guard Livingston off the bench?
They had Andrew Bogut and they had.
I mean, come on, man.
And they had another tough son. I forget his name. 6'10" bull. Like these guys is tough. It's not. Yeah. You can go 1 for 1 and 2 for 2, but then after that, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Like you put in Phil Jackson, who's a mastermind at coaching, in a tough predicament. Yeah. Because it's kind of like Steve Kerr, like him a lot, not a good coach. A lot of people will say he's a good coach, but you know, I mean, if I gave you $1 million and told you to not mess it up, it's not going to be hard. Yeah. He walked into a gold mine, you know? So So you take that gold mine.
After Mark Jackson.
Absolutely.
After
Who
Mark
the
Jackson.
NBA blackball.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Andre Iguodala wrote a book. Next thing you know, Golden State Warriors says you got to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that was. But yeah, it's kind of like Steve Kerr using what he got, and Phil Jackson really didn't have a lot. That's why. Those are the type of coaches that you respect. You know.
Yeah.
Speaking of something like that, you look at like a Coach K, great coach, love him, but he was always had the talent.
Gifted. Always gifted with talent. Yep.
Everybody
Always
and their
gifted with
grandma.
talent. Yeah. Even though Coach K is on Duke.
I'm a
Duke fan.
Yeah, I respect it.
Fan.
But at the end of the day, he always had the talent.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if you remember being the Duke fan. Let's take it back. Duke one year was 30 seconds away from losing the championship to a coach by the name of Brad Stevens.
I remember.
Who had not even a high school All-American, nor a college All-American. So it's kind of like one of them things, he just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of coaches that I respect, that has nothing.
Yeah.
That, you know, you start your program from the bottom.
Like Shaka Smart.
Hey,
Yeah.
great minds think alike, VCU.
Yeah.
I remember the game like it was yesterday because my little cousins actually play in the NBA. One played for the Lakers, one played for the Clippers. If y'all don't know, the people out there, those are the Morris twins.
That's it.
But anyway, I can remember the final, the Sweet 16, or no, it was the Elite 8, I'm sorry. And VCU beat Kansas,
Yep.
who was really good. And
I lost in that one too. I remember that
and
one.
And had the twins.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like Shaka Smart was a mastermind along with Brad Stevens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that, you know, Shaka got a bigger spot up in Texas.
It's hard to recruit out there, though.
Yeah, I know.
It's hard to recruit.
I know. Because they more football than
Absolutely.
basketball. So it's definitely hard to recruit.
Absolutely.
But then that brings me to another question here. We got Greg Pop versus Phil Jackson.
Gotta go with Pop. Like, just on the strength of, man, they had a freaking dynasty.
Yeah.
Like, not saying the Bulls didn't have a dynasty, but, you know, Pop was always able to replace.
Yes.
If
Key.
if Phil Jackson never had Mike, say Mike went down, torn ACL, whatever, he had to do it with Scotty and Kukoc, he couldn't do it.
Nope.
You take Pop and put him in the same equation, Pop gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, Tim Duncan go down, Dave Robson go down, all right, next man up. Chicago can't say that because y'all ain't got the firepower.
That's one thing about Pop that I love when it came to San Antonio. He made household names out of nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like role players. Just keep. I mean, Phil Jackson, don't get me wrong, you had to manage that talent. That's not easy to say. But he went from the Bulls to the Lakers. So he went from Mike to Kobe and Shaq.
Absolutely.
It's no.
So it's kind of like you can't
go wrong.
No,
you can't go wrong. You just got to build a system around them, but you can't go wrong. You got 4 of Hall of Fame players, and Kobe came in late, so he didn't make the top 50. But I'm sure he didn't.
I don't know how.
I mean, at that time they just put Shaq in, and Shaq was a rookie, so you know they knocked my man Dominique out for that. But it's all good. We'll talk about that later, Dominique Wilkins. But we'll talk about.
But also
later.
think about this though. Number 20 for the Spurs. He was, if I'm not mistaken, the last or the second to last pick in the draft.
Yeah.
And he turned him into a superstar.
Yeah.
So, you know, like, obviously that should say something for the kids out there, you know, that the guys if you're good enough to actually get it to that point, if you get drafted late, you could be anybody you want to. Manu Ginobili did it for 20 years.
Yes.
I actually watched the man play at the age of 39 right before a summer league game in Vegas. They was playing Nigeria, and it was his last go round. It was for the Olympics. It was right before, because I remember the Bulls played the Timberwolves, and Denzel Valentine hit a game-winning shot to win the game at the summer league. But they played right before Argentina played Nigeria, and I remember seeing Manu and he was old, 30, 38, and still playing ball. That's considered old, you know, because your body go through a lot of wear and tear.
Oh, trust me, I play ball too, and I could tell. I mean, and their competition is more impact than mine. So I know, but I mean, listen, that's words of wisdom right there. I mean, don't matter if you go or what draft you go or what pick you get, it's all about dedication, man. Putting the work in, and you'll see results, man. That's it.
Well, not only that, people. I'm gonna say out there to people that's listening, you know, to the podcast and everything, but dedication goes with everything. Even if you're a student, you better be the best damn student you could be. You know, like never let anybody tell you that you can't be it, because there could have been somebody that could have told Ginobili he couldn't do it. Yeah. But somebody fueled the fire, and now, you know, he's in the history books.
Yeah. So basically, that was going into my last thing, man. You know, any word of advice for any new coach or any young man about life or anything?
Just take everything in that you can. You know, sometimes, especially with players, you don't have to like the teacher to embrace the lesson. You can hate your coach. Don't matter if he's black, white, Chinese, whatever. Try to learn certain things from him and incorporate it into your game. And for the young athletes out there, take this game seriously. Yes. Don't show up to practice at 2:59 and practice start at 3 o'clock. Have your shoes tied. Don't goof off. Don't ever take your cell phone into the gym. Keep your cell phone in a locker. Every high school or college athlete has a locker room. Keep your cell phone there. You know, if you can't not worry about your girlfriend for 3 hours, then basketball or sports might not be for you. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Like, and it's just that simple. I've seen guys be really, really talented, and their girlfriends tell them, "Oh, you don't need to go to this camp, or you don't need to go to that camp, or you can miss practice today. Coach won't care." You don't worry about stuff like that. Do what you got to do, because at the end of the day, especially in high school, studies show your high school sweetheart, probably 10 years after high school, y'all probably won't even know each other. You might not even know that girl's last name. You know, so don't let no girl or no female or just anything screw up what you want to do. If you want to do it, just put your all into it. Yeah. If it don't work, at least you can say you tried.
Yeah. So on that note right there, I just want to say that's great advice right there. Great advice. So once again, man, I want to thank you for coming through, man. Appreciate you blessing the show.
You already know, family.
All day, baby.
My man.
All right. So once again, I want to thank our guest, Will, for coming on the show today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for the upcoming notifications for the shows. And again, thank you guys for rocking out with us. And before we leave, I want to leave you with a quote from the late Kobe Bryant. If you want to win, don't compete. Because once you decide that they're worth competing with, then they already won. Until next time, people.